Hi, I'm Lizzie and this is Laura, and this is day 3 of our 5-day cruise on board P&O Britannia in April 2020.
So first of all, I forgot to show you what I bought yesterday, and I've got to get it out because I got a Britannia Bear. Everybody's always talking about these and I've always wanted one. And they never had any on board on Azora in February, so I was a bit disappointed, but they've got tons of them in the shop on here, so I was really pleased.
As a parent said in the shop, it's a bit of tat.
I'm offended by that. I think it's really cute and he's lovely and soft, so highly recommended.
So I was delighted this morning because I actually feel really well today. Don't know if it came across on the last 2 vlogs, but wasn't feeling the best, bit of a cold, end of term, you know, that type of thing. So I was well raring for the day, and turns out probably the best day of our cruise. So
yeah,
far.
It's been such a good day, hasn't it? We've both really enjoyed ourselves. So first thing this morning, we didn't get up. It's Easter Sunday today. We didn't get up mad early again, as you'll probably have learned from watching these. That's just not what we do on holiday. That's not what we go on holiday for. We want to relax and enjoy ourselves. So yeah.
I went to mass. We've often thought about going to mass on board the ships on Easter Sunday.
Lizzie has often thought about
but quite often they'll be like 8:30 in the morning, which is a bit of a push sometimes when you don't get in until 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was 11 o'clock in Live Lounge, so it was a very interesting experience because it was quite strange going to mass in the same place where you'd been drinking until 2 o'clock in the morning the night before. But it was a nice calming start to the day, and
so yeah,
there was probably about 25 to 30 people there. There was a bit of chaos at the beginning because some families turned up thinking it was arts and crafts, but they were in the wrong place. They should have been in Limelight. We've said the names are confusing and that.
Yeah, and Lizzie did that on her own, and I went and sat up by the pool. It was a bit chilly up there, but I just sat there and had a drink and watched the world go by, really. Looking out into Rotterdam, like the views are great from the ship because you dock really close to Rotterdam when you're here. So yeah, I had some great views and I just sat and chilled out until Lizzie was finished and go to find me. So after that we headed for lunch. We decided we might as well stay on, hang around the ship, have lunch on board before getting off into Rotterdam. And we just went to the buffet, which was fine.
It was relatively calm.
Yeah.
Most people had got
up and off by the looks of
we
things.
were in the lift and somebody had already got back on.
Yeah, they were getting on as we were getting off. But yeah, the buffet was great, easy to get round. It wasn't packed in there, was it? And there were plenty of food options. Yeah, and then we headed off the ship.
We didn't take a photo of our plates because as always in a buffet they look a bit of a mismatch.
Nobody wants to see that.
But I had a nice curry.
I think I had a burger and some sweet and sour pork or something. It was bizarre.
Threw some lettuce on the plate.
I didn't even bother with that. But yeah, then after that we just jumped straight in the lift and headed out to the gangway.
As we've said, we've been to Rotterdam a few times before. It just seems to be where we end up all the time at the moment. And actually, it's a city that we've grown to really, really like. So we got off the ship, walked over the Erasmus Bridge, headed towards where Market Hall is. Oh, first of all, we walked along the front.
We did, yeah.
Of the river.
And there were those river cruise ships.
There were loads of river cruise ships in. Some were clearly getting ready for their season. Or...
Yeah, they were like... They had no passengers on board, and they didn't look like they were embarking or disembarking passengers. They were empty.
And like you could see, we were trying to obviously be nosy.
Yeah.
And, like, the beds weren't made up in the cabins, etc.
Yeah.
But then there were some which there were passengers on because they were just coming back off an excursion.
Yeah. So that was really interesting. We were peeking in the windows as much as we could and having a little nose. Some of them looked amazing.
And a river cruise is something we'd like to try one day, but obviously we're aware that they're probably more pricey than coming on a P&O cruise.
Then we kept on walking and just went straight towards the Market Hall area. And normally when we're around that area, there's been a market in the street, and there wasn't this time, which was different, but probably because it was Easter Sunday. But we had a wander around the Market Hall, looked at the different food options, used the toilet in there, which is €1, and then we just had a wander around the shops. Really, we didn't have like massive plans for today because we've seen most of Rotterdam already, but we just like experiencing the city as it is. And it was busy around, wasn't it? Like busy in the streets, lots of people.
And you always manage to find a new street that you've never walked along before and little things. And one point we walked past a nice chips and mayo stall.
Oh yeah.
We were tempted, but we weren't really hungry because we'd eaten on the ship. And then we just headed back to the ship because we had got Limelight booked.
Yeah.
So we were aware that we needed to get ready earlier than normal. So we got to the Limelight Lounge at about 7:15. Went to the desk and they took us straight in there.
Yeah.
So on Iona, we've had to queue before. They've not actually opened the doors until 7.
They make you stand in the corridor and wait until it's 7, and then the doors open and they take you in to seat you, don't they?
Whereas they seated us straight away, and there were people
already,
sat in there. And to be honest, I don't think any table in there would have been a bad table.
No.
There were a couple that were behind pillars, but as waiters were taking people to them, they were saying, you can sit here or you can choose somewhere else. They were being very accommodating.
And they were saying things like, when the show starts, you can move your seat, so don't worry. And it was all a little bit different, wasn't it, to how it worked on Iona? We've only done Limelight on Iona before. When we previously cruised on Britannia, I can't remember why, but I'm pretty sure the person that was on in Limelight we just weren't interested in seeing. On Iona, they have their own band in there called the Limelights. Is that the name?
With their own singer as well.
Yeah, with their own singer, and you get like a bit of a pre-dinner show from them.
You had your starter, then they did like a half-hour set, and then you got your main. Whereas on here, you got all of your food first, and then it was the show.
Yeah, so we had the amuse-bouche, which was just like breadsticks, some sort of pesto dip, and some little nuts, and then straight into starters. We both had the same thing.
Scallops, they were really nice,
really good. But Lizzie wouldn't eat the pea fritter because it was too green for her.
It tasted like peas, and I don't like peas.
And then the main, I had like an Asian sea bass, which was absolutely lovely.
And I had the beef, and the beef it just like melted in your mouth. It was probably the best piece of beef I think I've ever
It looked like my worst nightmare. It was like just a big lump of meat.
And then there wasn't a dessert option.
No, there was only one dessert choice on the menu, which was like it advertised it as a white chocolate cheesecake, I think, but it was
deconstructed.
Yeah, it was like a few blobs of cream and a bit of...
And there was a passion fruit and mint jelly with it that Laura tried to convince me I'd like. I had a little mouthful of it.
I made Lizzie try it because I knew she wouldn't like it.
So I didn't eat the dessert. Laura had a good 1.5 of the desserts.
Well, there's no point wasting it.
And then the service on drinks was very good in there.
Yes.
So we've got the drinks package. So you can only have like small glasses of wine, but they made sure you were topped up constantly.
Did. They just kept on saying, same again, and bringing it out. So it was really good.
And they made it really clear that the bar wouldn't be open during the performance.
Yeah.
So they made sure that we had drinks on the table ready. Okay, so then it was time for the act, and we're aware we've not actually mentioned who it was, but the act was John Partridge. So when we had seen that he was the act, we put on our Instagram, has anyone seen him before? Yeah. Should we book him?
We weren't 100% convinced, were we? Even though like we both really love musical theatre. Yeah.
But it was somebody that we weren't a massive fan of.
Yeah.
So we were a little bit unsure of what to do. And then by the time we decided that we were going to book it, we couldn't book a table for 2. So if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen that. But luckily, David from the entertainments team stepped in to help us out.
So he messaged us and said, he would pop down and see the maitre d' for the restaurant, head waiter, whatever you call him anyway. And they got us booked in, which was great. So we did get our table for 2.
But so then he started, and my God, he was incredible.
We were just, from start to finish, we were amazed, just didn't take our eyes off the show.
He made us laugh, he made us cry.
Yeah.
He interacted with the whole audience. Mm-hmm. So Limelight is sold as being intimate. And you felt like it was intimate on Iona. We had seen Lavoie, brilliant. Jamie Hensley, brilliant. But Limelight on Britannia is smaller. I felt even more intimate.
Totally different experience, isn't it? And the way John walked through the audience, and he was like weaving between tables. He was over in one side of the room, over the other side of the room, went down to the back. He was leaning on people's tables, singing directly to them. It was just
there was so much interaction.
Yeah, and he danced, he did some tap dancing.
Which made me want to get my tap shoes back out.
As well as singing. And his musical director, Barney, I believe his name was also a fantastic pianist.
Yeah, amazing.
So it was just one of those shows where it just ticked every box.
So, and it was so nice at the end. We got to have a photo with him and a little chat, and he thanked us as well.
He did. He said, like, thanks for being such good sports.
Yeah.
Because we were relatively close to the front, he kept coming towards our table, and like he did this whole like intense singing directly at you thing where he like stared you down, and like at first it was a little bit uncomfortable, wasn't it? You kind of didn't know where to look, but
you just got into it more.
Yeah.
You just had to go with the flow.
Yeah.
So if John Partridge is ever on one of your cruises, highly recommend
Absolutely.
that you go.
Get it
I mean,
booked and get
Limelight is worth it for the food.
Yeah, we always say that, and every single time we go now, I think it makes it more obvious that whoever was on, we'd probably go and enjoy it.
Yeah. The night was still very young yet. So we headed to the theatre. Oh, we stopped at Bruges on the way to pick up a drink.
Oh, we did, yeah.
Headed to the theatre. Yeah, you can see there's a common theme on tonight, lots of drink. And it was rock on again.
Yeah, and because we were a little bit late,
we ended up towards the
a
front.
couple of minutes late. We weren't like mid-performance or anything. We just were in probably the first song.
Yeah, it was the first song, definitely. It was 10:31.
Yeah.
And it was only because we'd had to wait for our drink in Bruges that we were that little bit
so
late.
we snuck in the bottom entrance instead of coming in at the top and down the stairs.
So we were like 3 rows from the front.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely worth it. They were absolutely incredible. Their voices are just out of this world.
So good. You can tell they're all like musically trained. Yeah. They sing really well. And one of them did actually let us in on a bit of a secret that it was their first time performing together on this cruise as a 4-piece.
So again, they got everyone up on their feet dancing.
Yeah.
Oh, they did a really good bit in their set where it was female rock stars.
Oh yeah, we loved that.
Which was really, really good.
And Rachel, who was the Cher tribute act from a couple of nights ago, we could see where she was sat in the theatre, and they did a Cher song, and they did call her out on it like while they were doing it, so that was good fun. We had plenty of space for dancing, but I did smash a glass.
Stop admitting these things on camera.
I felt really bad.
But she did pick it up and take it to the bar, for which they were very grateful because someone didn't stumble across it. So, yeah, highly recommend if they're ever on your cruise, go and see them.
After that, we headed through into the Crystal Room, which I always keep ending up there on this cruise.
So, whenever we are trying to find our way to somewhere at the moment, Laura doesn't believe me. Any time I go, it's this way, and she just wants to go to the Crystal Room.
I don't know what it is. It's like I've got a homing device into the Crystal Room, but this time we intended to go there because they were doing like a Club Anthems DJ set. We thought it was going to be like the old school one that we walked through the other night, but it wasn't actually quite like that.
It just has music
playing. But it was still all right. And we sat down, had another couple of drinks in there, and just enjoyed the music and the atmosphere in there. It wasn't that busy, but there were quite a few people
and there were people dancing, enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
So you might have noticed that we've made the most of the drinks package tonight, and we got a bit peckish. So we thought, why not? Let's head up to the late night buffet.
What Lizzie's not telling you is she'd already eyed this up earlier on in the day, because Lizzie loves a cheese and onion roll. And there was like some cheese and onion in puff pastry advertised as being on the late night snack selection. We looked at the buffet menu when we went and had lunch, and Lizzie clocked it on there. So we were never gonna not go there tonight, I don't think.
And also in the last, I don't know about the last year on P&O ships, they've started doing like kebabby, fajita style things.
Yeah,
on
they
the late
call
night
it
buffet.
shawarma, don't they? But it's not quite. But it's kind of what you need after a night of too much wine.
However, we ate, and then we were like, oh, we don't really want to go to bed yet. So we went back downstairs to the live lounge. So the only problem with the staff is they keep on trying to get us to have extra drinks. So we go at the end of the night, we're always very, very sensible, and ask for a bottle of water to bring back to the room. And we get you sure you don't want enough wine? And we're like, no, thank you. Tequila? No, thank
Definitely
you.
not.
But the staff have been brilliant in there, really, really attentive. And tonight we were in there when lights went up.
Yeah, we were, which nobody needs that at the end of the night. But the DJ even came over, didn't he, on the way out and said, like, see you tomorrow, like, good night, see you tomorrow.
Had a good chat.
Yeah, so it's just been a really nice atmosphere, hasn't it, so far?
So today has just been a really good day, a brilliant day. on the cruise.
Yeah, really enjoyed ourselves. Probably had a bit too much to drink, but nothing that a bit of water won't solve.
No.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to ask any questions, you can comment down below. You can also follow us on all social media. We're at Sisters on the Seas.